Now, when you first start Microsoft Project, assuming you're not wanting to open an existing project but to create a new one, we have a number of options. In the New section here, we can either start with a blank project, start with an existing project, so effectively we're doing a copy and paste, or we're opening and save as. We can start by importing data from Excel or importing tasks from SharePoint. Or we can go and choose one of the many built-in templates or search online for even more templates that Microsoft Project has provided. We'll explore the templates shortly. We're firstly going to have a look at creating a project from scratch. So that's using a blank project. So I choose the blank project and double click, and a blank project opens. Now, a blank project is a bit like our sample project, but has no tasks in it, and the Gantt chart is clear, and you'll notice there's no numbers on the left. Although I did say those numbers were like Excel, they actually don't appear until you have a task. So they're not like Excel in that respect, in that you get lots and lots of rows. You don't get a numbered row until you need it. Now, before we start adding anything to our project, there's a couple of small changes I'd like to make. The first of those is to turn off this timeline for the moment, and that's done by going to View, and over on the right here where it says Split View, we just take the tick out of timeline and the timeline is removed. Now, we will explore the timeline feature a bit later. We also need to come down to the status bar at the bottom here where it says new tasks are manually scheduled. If I click, I can change that to auto scheduled. Now, the difference between manually scheduled and auto scheduled is that manually scheduled, I need to do a lot more of the work myself to decide when a project task starts and finishes and how it interacts with other tasks. If I change to auto schedule, then I need to just provide Microsoft Project with the task duration and its relationship to other tasks. So does it have to happen after that? I can't do the painting until the plastering's done. In fact, I can't do the painting until the plastering is done and dried. So I'm changing to auto schedule. Now, once you've been using Microsoft Project for a while, you'll find your preference. And if you want to change all future projects to be auto scheduled as opposed to having to click down here every time, then we can do that under File, Options, Schedule, come down to where it says New Tasks are created, and the choice is either manually or auto. I'm going to choose auto and OK, and that means that all new tasks I now add are auto scheduled. If I then want that to become the default for new project files, then I need to go back into the options, schedule. Before I make this change here, I come to scheduling options for this project and change that to all new projects and then auto schedule. So now I'm going to change all new projects to be auto scheduled. OK. And that just saves a bit of clicking each time you start a new project. I then need to save the file. So that's your normal file and save or save as. Because it hasn't got a name, it's the same as clicking save and save as. We'll be taken to the same option. We have the option to sync with SharePoint if you're connected to a SharePoint server. We have the option to save to, in this case, Guy's SkyDrive, but that would be your SkyDrive, assuming you've connected your project to a SkyDrive, which we've covered elsewhere. Or I can save to my computer, my documents. I then give the file a name, my new project, and I decide on the file type. Now, you can actually save your project in plain text and XML, but really we're interested in keeping it in a Microsoft Project format. But if you need to share this project with people on older versions of Microsoft Project, then you need to save it as an older version format. Now, although the file extension stays the same, they are slightly different formats as far as Microsoft are concerned. So you would need to save in a 2007 format if you wanted to open in 2007 or 2010, or in a 2000 to 2003 format if you wanted to save the file so that it could be opened by people using, well, effectively, very old versions of Microsoft Project. I'm quite happy to stay in the latest format, but I must bear in mind that only people using Project 2013 will be able to open this file. So I save the document into my documents as my new project. The file name turns up here, mynewproject.mpp. And I'm then ready to get started with my project.